Welcome. I am Matt, the Executive Director of Circle City Relief, and this is the Circle City Relief Spotlight, where we shine the light on a volunteer, a donor, a board member, or even a friend from the community, somebody that we serve, just so you can get to meet some of the people that do come to Circle City Relief on a regular basis, and them get to express who they are and what they do, and how much they love Circle City Relief, almost as much as I do, because this has just been a joy to be able to do Circle City Relief every single week from January of 2010 until today. We're excited to be in our 16th year, and we're doing just God's work in the community right here in the city of Indianapolis. And so I have someone special for you to meet today. This young lady has been volunteering with Circle City Relief for my estimation. I'm sure she'll correct me as soon as you meet her. Going on 2 years or so. And she regularly comes out to Circle City Relief, and I'm telling you, when she walks into a room, the room just automatically brightens up. I know that we call this the spotlight, but I think she is the spotlight, because it just brightens up as soon as she walks into the room, and everybody knows that it's going to be an awesome day when this young lady walks into the room. And so, yes, I can't wait for you to meet her. And so, without further ado, meet Chelsea. Chelsea, welcome to the spotlight. Go ahead and have a seat.
Thank you.
Awesome. So thankful that you said yes to doing the spotlight. Some people say, no, I'm not getting in front of that camera. I'm not doing any of that craziness. But
I have to prepare myself.
Oh, yeah, right. I don't know. You don't have to prepare yourself. You're always prepared. I'm sure. And so welcome to the spotlight. Wanted everybody to meet you. I'm sure that after the spotlight's over, they're going to be like, I'm so glad that she did the spotlight. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am from South Bend, Indiana. Okay. So I came to the Indy area after college, and then I started teaching in Brownsburg, so I'm a teacher.
Okay.
So yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
Teacher, how do you do it? Teaching nowadays just seems like such a challenge. You have to be a special person to be able to do it.
It is a challenge, but kids are lovely. They teach you a lot about yourself.
Okay.
So it's almost like looking in a mirror sometimes, because we are just grown up children.
True.
Like truly. So sometimes it's nice because they remind me of like, oh, I have some emotions too. So maybe I'm the problem.
That's what I used to be like, right?
Yes. Seriously, yeah. You start to see it's so much more than just like the educational piece of it, right? You see a child holistically. Okay. So I think it's a beautiful thing.
Awesome. Well, I get told that all the time by Sandy that I'm just a big kid.
See, there you go.
So I'm always reminded that way. You're reminded by your profession. Teaching and being around the young kids, and but I would imagine that there's a lot of reward.
Oh my goodness,
over the years.
Absolutely.
And how long have you been teaching?
I'm going on year 7.
Really?
Believe it or not.
Really?
Year 7.
It's impossible.
Year 7. Yeah, I'm amazed at what God is doing.
And what grade level do you teach?
5th graders.
5th graders.
Right before they go to middle school.
Wow.
Yeah, it gets a little dicey.
You're right there in the foundation building.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's good.
Absolutely.
That's good. So I have some questions for you. I still don't have them memorized, but I think I got my little help thingy over here. So how did you first get connected with Circle City Relief?
Yeah, so I was looking for opportunities to engage, to put my faith to work. And so I had volunteered some other places, but I was lacking that relational piece. So I just was scouring the internet for what resources were in Indianapolis that built relationship. That was important to me. And I saw Circle City Relief, and I was just reading through the page, and I was like, why not? I'm just going to show up and like see how this goes. So here I am.
Yeah. Also, you're looking for a relationship.
Yes.
You're looking for. There's, I guess, a good place to make a difference, connect with, and I think you connected immediately, right?
Yeah.
You walked in that very first day, and I think you just jumped right into just doing whatever was needed. And that's the cool thing about you, that I've witnessed over the last couple of years. is that no matter if you're there right at the very beginning of the day and you're incorporated in getting the teams together, or whether you walk in a couple minutes later or 15 minutes later, you're just immediately what's needed, and then you dive right on in, and
Yes.
you get that done, and it's pretty cool to see. So
Yes.
and I think I remember that from the very first day on. So well, it's definitely been fun having you a part of us ever since getting connected with us. And so, what have you experienced that has impacted you the most?
The most. I honestly think it's the neighbors.
Mm.
So, sometimes it's hard being like a newcomer, a new face.
Mm-hmm.
But I never felt that way.
Okay.
So even that first time going out and serving and them welcoming me,
Mm-hmm.
and then realizing how important it was for them to make their connection with me and for me to make my connections with them.
Right,
And
right, right.
I think what has been like my experience is just like seeing the love of God, even in how the neighbors interact with us and how we interact with them, and their willingness to open up and share, like they feel safe. So it's been nice to have a place where I can witness that and see that.
Sure.
Because I don't think all resources feel that safe, right? Where
Yeah,
you can
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
where you
Absolutely.
can share that. So I think that has been a beautiful experience.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds. I mean, it is a beautiful experience. I will say that it took years to create that because when we first showed up at the site, and it's like, who are these people? And, what do they want?
Yeah. Do they want something from
right?
me? What do they want?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's the catch here? And I think over the years of just showing up and just being authentic and genuine with the community. They've picked up on that.
Yeah, and that like really impacted me because now I'm like, oh, this is different, right? Like I said before, I had volunteered some other places, and we get to have minimal interaction with the people that we serve. There's like almost a barrier,
right?
And so we're not encouraged really to go and have conversations and pray or get to know someone. And so it impacts to actually be able to stand in front of someone and say, hey, how are you doing? What is it that you need? That is life changing.
Yeah, it is definitely. It's like it could. You hope to, for it to be a life changing experience or moment for the person you're speaking to, but it's more so life changing for yourself.
Oh my goodness, yes, yes, absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
And that's and I can see where organizations want to make sure that they protect their volunteers from what could or but at the same time, sometimes we just have to trust that God has everything under control, and not everybody's going to be the one that want to have that conversation. And it's really about letting volunteers choose that.
Yes.
Give them the ability to choose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, why do you think CCR, the work that CCR does, matters to the community?
Ooh. It matters because we are revealing Jesus, right? And I think we can go anywhere in the world and we can see broken people, right? We can look in the mirror and see some broken people, right?
Everywhere.
And I think it matters because this is more than just the resource, right? This is a lifelong connection that some of the neighbors have with this, with us. And so it's needed because sometimes you get the resource and then you're on your way, right? And you don't necessarily have someone come alongside you.
Right.
And I think the beautiful thing is, even if we don't see someone every single week, there's still that prayer that I have you in my mind, and someone is still thinking about you, asking for you, caring for you, even though you may not be present.
Exactly.
And I think that's the impact that's needed in most communities, right? Sometimes we're just seen as one more person in and out of the door, one more person to give a resource to, but how about I am a soul that matters to an all-seeing, all-knowing God? And I think it's beautiful that we get to do that.
Here recently, I started this little notebook, and I titled the notebook "Friends." And so whenever I see a friend or haven't seen a friend, I can refer to the notebook to where it's the last time I saw this friend and know what it is that happened. So there's a gentleman that had some recent issue with He's incarcerated for a couple of weeks. And so we didn't see him for a few weeks, and I was like, I think he might have been incarcerated. So I checked the system, and then lo and behold, he was there. Oh. And then I could see his release date. So the date he was released was a Sunday. We're out at the parking lot. We had just pulled up, and he's there. And I was like, oh, you're out today. And he goes, how'd you know? Yeah, it's like you. I was like, trust me, I know more than you think. We know. But then I showed him the book. Yeah, and he's like, you keep tabs. Mm-hmm. Right. But he could see that we cared enough. Yes. To want to continue to think. We're thinking of him even when he's not around, and that's for everybody. That, sure is. And not just me. I'm yourself and Sandy and everybody else has people that they care about a lot. Absolutely. And just want to wonder and know where they're at or how they're doing and stuff like that. And so how's being involved with Circle City Relief changed you personally? Oh, wow. You think a lot less about self. Okay. And so I think personally, just changing my mindset, right? I think we have our personal relationships with Jesus, and we kind of like to live in our bubble and, really say, it's just me and God, and we're working through this thing together. But I mean, our faith is meant to be demonstrative, right? Our love is meant to be demonstrative. And so it's changed me because now I'm like, wait a minute. This God, he moves. He moves, and he just needs someone who's willing, right? And so I think at first I was just kind of like, oh, I want to be helpful. But more so, as I kept coming, I'm like, whoa, this is actually what God has designed for the body to do. And so I think what's changed is now I can't just think about me every morning, right? Like now I'm like, these are these neighbors that I've met. I'm praying for them. I'm caring about them. And so then it's like faith at work. Like I'm just getting to the point finally in all my years of living. After reading the scriptures, I don't know how many times, right? And then finally being like, wait a minute. This isn't just something I get to read about. This is something I get to live. Absolutely. And so that has been whatever she just said in the last 2 to 3 minutes. you might want to re-listen to that and or jot it down. There was a lot to that. That was some good stuff. Yes, and, demonstrative. God, you use big words, big terms. I'm gonna have to go to the dictionary. Action. He is a God of action. Yes. I totally agree. Yes, and I love how faith, putting our faith to work, and God doesn't want us to just sit idly by. Absolutely not. He wants us to be His hands and feet in this world, and that's what I love about Circle City Relief is we give our opportunities to volunteers like yourself that want to grow in your faith, and the only way that you can actually grow in your faith is when you're practicing. There's a lot of study, and you can know a lot of doctrine and theological things and know about God, but you're going to learn more about what all that stuff means when you actually practice it and do it. Yeah. So, knowledge will puff us up, and we'll have all this knowledge, and we'll have nothing to do with it, right? And there's just so much to be gained by interacting. Absolutely. Yeah. Keep jotting down. So. All right, last question is, what would you say to somebody, because I know that there are some somebodies that are watching this video, what would you say to somebody thinking of getting involved with Circle City Relief? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? I promise you the water is just fine. It is just fine. It is just fine. I think sometimes we get in our heads about things like, oh, it's new, or I don't know them, or I think sometimes there's like a stigma of, coming across someone who may be homeless or in need of a resource, and sometimes we don't know how to engage, right? And so if we just take ourselves out of the equation and realize if we just show up, how much more can someone gain from us just showing up? Right? So just show up. And see how it goes. That's right. God is good. Like, He is not going to leave you. Like, it may not come to you in the moment, but just know that, like we said before, He is a God of action. And so why not be a Christ follower in action? Like, let's do the thing. Christ follower in action. And so that's what Chelsea's calling you to do, is be a Christ follower in action. Come down to Circle City Relief. Show up. Help us show up at the serving site as we have each and every Sunday since 2010, January of 2010. I think that we're approaching outreach number 856 this Sunday. I'll double check that figure, but I think that we're there. And so we'd love to have you join us. If you've never volunteered at Circle City Relief, please come on down for the first time. Or if you've volunteered before and you haven't been out in a while, we'd love to have you back. And so that God can use you as he uses us to make a difference in the lives of others in this world. And so just simply go to www.circlecityrelief.org. To do that, choose any Sunday. You have three options. You can do an all-day volunteer from 10 to approximately 3 to 3:30, or you can break that up morning only, afternoon only, or we'd love to even have you down on Thursdays to do Manna from Heaven meal production, where we make frozen microwavable meals for food pantries, transitional recovery houses, low-income residential buildings, for people to get into the hands of people that need it the most. And so we'd love to offer that opportunity as well. That will take place on Thursdays, and our website has those sign-up opportunities as well. And so really do appreciate you joining us today. Chelsea, thanks for coming down.
Always. I love